At 0300 hours, a number of Dynamics robots were lost in a typhoon. Chance of recovery is unlikely.
Do you need assistance? Aggression detected. I see your problem.
When a lone robot washes ashore on a mysterious island, survival becomes her first mission. A broken bar, but friendship becomes her greatest discovery. In a world where nature meets machine, one journey will change what it means to be alive. This is The Wild Robot, 2024. Only on M Cinema Reviews. The Wild Robot is a 2024 American animated science fiction film based on the 2016 novel of the same name by Peter Brown and produced by DreamWorks Animation, written and directed by Chris Sanders. The film features the voices of Lupita Nyong'o, Pedro Pascal, Kit Connor, Bill Nighy, Stephanie Hsu, Matt Berry, Ving Rhames, Mark Hamill, and Catherine O'Hara. The story follows a service robot who is shipwrecked on an uninhabited island and must learn to adapt to her environment, bond with the local wildlife, and take on the role of adoptive mother to an orphaned goose. DreamWorks Animation acquired the screenplay before the novel's release in 2016. Sanders, who first discovered the book through his daughter, was later offered the chance to direct the adaptation. The animation style incorporates a watercolor-inspired aesthetic, drawing influence from classic Disney works and the films of Hayao Miyazaki. The score was composed by Chris Bowers, marking his first for a fully animated feature. The project underwent 4 years of development with a budget of $78 million. The film premiered at the 49th Toronto International Film Festival on September 8, 2024, before being released in the United States on September 27 by Universal Pictures. It received widespread praise for its narrative, themes, animation style, music, emotional resonance, and vocal performances. The Wild Robot was also a commercial success, earning $334.5 million globally. It went on to win 9 Annie Awards, including Best Animated Feature, received Best Animated Feature honors at the Critics' Choice Awards and Producers Guild of America Awards, and was nominated for 3 Academy Awards, becoming DreamWorks' most nominated film at the ceremony. A sequel is currently in development. A violent storm causes a Universal Dynamics cargo ship to lose 6 Rosm robots at sea. The machines wash ashore on a remote, uninhabited island, but only Unit 7134 survives. Accidentally activated by curious wildlife, the unit, later known as Rosa, is immediately feared and labeled a monster by the animals. Though she tries to help, Roz injures herself in the process and struggles to find a purpose. After signaling for retrieval, she is struck by lightning and attacked by the animals. While fleeing from Thorn, a hostile grizzly bear, Roz accidentally crushes a goose nest, leaving behind only a single unbroken egg. Determined to make amends, Roz protects the egg from a predatory red fox named Fink. When the gosling hatches, it imprints on Roz, breaking her long-range transponder in the process. Pinktail, a wise opossum, insists that Roz must raise the gosling until it is strong enough to fly south for the winter migration. Roz names the chick Brightbill, and with Fink begrudgingly tagging along, they form an unlikely family. As Brightbill grows, he is shunned by other geese and eventually discovers Roz's role in the death of his family, causing him to lash out and reject her. Hoping to repair her mistakes, Roz rebuilds another damaged Rosm unit, whom she calls Rummage. Before shutting down, Rummage gifts Roz her working transponder and urges her to return to the factory. Meanwhile, Roz secures help from Thunderbolt, a falcon, and Longneck, the migration leader, who train Brightbill to fly just in time to join the other geese. Lonely and uncertain, Roz briefly activates her transponder, but when Universal Dynamics detects the signal, she shuts it down again. During migration, Brightbill's flock is caught in a storm and forced into a Universal Dynamics greenhouse. The intrusion triggers security protocols, sending Recco robots after them. Longneck sacrifices himself so Brightbill can lead the geese to safety. Back on the island, Roz and Fink save the animals during a brutal snowstorm, convincing them to call a truce before Roz powers down. When spring comes, she reawakens to find the animals united, and Brightbill returns as a hero. Their peace is short-lived when a Universal Dynamics dropship, commanded by Avantra, Virtual Observational Neutralizing Troublesome Retrieval Authority, robot, arrives to reclaim Roz. As Roz and Fink flee, Avantra deploys Recco units to capture her. The island's animals rally to fight back, but Vontra detonates the Recos, starting a wildfire and knocking Roz offline. Brightbill and Thunderbolt attack the dropship, and Roz reboots through the power of her bond with Brightbill. In a final battle, Roz destroys Vontra, rescues her son, and escapes as the dropship explodes. Recognizing the danger her presence brings, Roz chooses to return to Universal Dynamics in order to protect the island from further attacks. Though she promises to return, she begins working in a greenhouse, keeping her memories intact. Life on the island thrives, and Brightbill eventually visits her mother and son reunited in a heartfelt embrace. The Wild Robot, 2024, a comprehensive analysis of its star-studded voice cast introduction. When animation meets A-list talent, the year 2024 marked a significant milestone in animated cinema with the release of The Wild Robot, a DreamWorks animation masterpiece that brought together one of the most impressive voice casts in recent animated film history. Directed and written by Chris Sanders, the acclaimed filmmaker behind How to Train Your Dragon and Lilo Stitch, this adaptation of Peter Brown's beloved children's book series represents a perfect marriage of storytelling excellence and vocal artistry. The film's casting choices reflect a deliberate strategy to blend established Hollywood talent with emerging voices, creating a dynamic ensemble that brings depth and authenticity to each character. From Academy Award-winning performances to iconic character actors, the voice cast of The Wild Robot demonstrates how animation continues to attract top-tier talent who understand the unique challenges and opportunities that voice acting presents. The story follows Roz, Unit 7134, known simply as Roz, a service robot who becomes shipwrecked on an uninhabited island. Through her journey of survival and adaptation, she forms unexpected bonds with the island's wildlife and becomes the adoptive parent of an orphaned gosling named Brightbill. This emotionally resonant narrative required a cast capable of conveying complex emotions through voice alone, making the casting decisions crucial to the film's ultimate success. Lupita Nyong'o as Roz, the heart of the machine. At the center of The Wild Robot stands Lupita Nyong'o's transformative performance as Roz, the titular robotic protagonist. Nyong'o, whose career has been marked by powerful performances in films like 12 Years a Slave, for which she won an Academy Award, Black Panther, and Us, brings a unique combination of technical precision and emotional depth to this unconventional maternal figure. Nyong'o's casting as Roz represents more than just star power. It reflects a deep understanding of what the character needed to succeed. The role required an actress capable of conveying the gradual transformation from mechanical efficiency to emotional awareness, a journey that unfolds entirely through vocal performance. Nyong'o's classical training and experience with complex characters made her an ideal choice for navigating Roz's evolution from programmed responses to genuine maternal instincts. The actress has spoken extensively about the challenges and rewards of voice acting, particularly in bringing life to a character that begins the story as essentially a machine. Her approach to Roz involved studying the mechanical aspects of robot communication while gradually introducing human-like warmth and emotion as the character develops. This technical mastery, combined with Nyong'o's natural charisma and emotional intelligence, creates a performance that grounds the film's fantastical elements in genuine feeling. Nyong'o's previous experience in both dramatic and genre films proved invaluable in approaching Roz's character arc. Her work in Black Panther demonstrated her ability to balance strength with vulnerability, while her horror work in Us showed her range in conveying complex psychological states. These skills translate seamlessly to animation, where the voice must carry the entire emotional weight of the performance. The casting of Nyong'o also reflects DreamWorks' commitment to diversity and representation in animation. As a Kenyan-Mexican actress, Nyong'o brings a global perspective to the role while representing underrepresented communities in major animated films. Her involvement in the project elevates both the character and the film's cultural significance. Director Chris Sanders praised Nyong'o's intuitive understanding of the character's journey, noting how she naturally found the balance between Roz's robotic origins and her growing humanity. This balance is crucial to the film's central theme of adaptation and growth, making Nyong'o's performance the emotional anchor around which the entire story revolves. Pedro Pascal as Fink. The cunning companion Pedro Pascal's casting as Fink, The sly and opportunistic fox who becomes Roz's unlikely ally, represents one of the film's most inspired voice acting choices. Pascal, riding high on his acclaimed performances in The Mandalorian, The Last of Us, and The White Lotus, brings his characteristic charm and complexity to this pivotal supporting character. Fink serves as both comic relief and emotional catalyst in the story, requiring an actor capable of balancing humor with genuine sentiment. Pascal's natural charisma and timing make him perfectly suited for this dual role. His experience in dramatic television has honed his ability to find the emotional truth in characters who might initially appear one-dimensional, a skill that proves essential in animation where character development must be conveyed efficiently. The Fox character represents a crucial element in Roz's journey toward understanding the natural world and her place within it. Fink's initial antagonistic relationship with Roz gradually evolves into genuine partnership and friendship, mirroring the film's broader themes of adaptation and community. Pascal's performance captures this evolution with subtle shifts in tone and delivery that reflect the character's growing respect and affection for the robot protagonist. Pascal's approach to voice acting demonstrates his versatility as a performer. While his live-action work often relies on physical presence and facial expressions, his voice work in The Wild Robot showcases his ability to convey character through vocal nuance alone. His Fink is simultaneously mischievous and wise, selfish and generous, creating a complex character that serves as an essential guide for both Roz and the audience. The chemistry between Pascal and Nyong'o, despite never sharing a recording booth, creates one of the film's most compelling relationships. Their characters' dynamic drives much of the story's emotional development, with Fink's streetwise wisdom complementing Roz's logical but inexperienced approach to island life. Pascal's performance ensures that Fink never becomes merely a sidekick but remains an integral part of the narrative's emotional core. Pascal's involvement in the project also reflects the current trend of A-list television stars transitioning to animation, bringing their established fan bases while demonstrating their range as performers. His work in The Wild Robot serves as a showcase for his vocal abilities, proving that his appeal extends beyond his physical presence in live-action roles. Kit Connor as Bright Bill. The next generation of voice-acting young British actor Kit Connor takes on the crucial role of Bright Bill, the orphaned gosling whose relationship with Roz forms the emotional heart of the film. Connor, best known for his breakthrough performance in Netflix's Heartstopper, represents the new generation of actors making their mark in animation. Bright Bill's character arc requires extraordinary emotional range, as the young goose experiences abandonment, adoption, growth, and eventual independence. Connor's performance must capture the character's journey from helpless infant to confident young adult, all while maintaining the believable voice of a gosling. This challenge requires not only technical skill but also emotional maturity beyond Connor's years. Connor's casting reflects the film's commitment to authentic youth representation. Rather than casting an adult to play young, the filmmakers chose a young actor who could bring genuine youthful energy and perspective to the role. This decision pays dividends in the authenticity of Bright Bill's character development and his relationships with the adult characters around him. The relationships between Roz and Bright Bill serves as the film's central metaphor for unconventional family structures and the nature of parental love. Connor's performance must convince audiences of the genuine bond between Robot and Gosling, requiring him to match Nyong'o's emotional intensity while maintaining the character's youthful innocence and curiosity. Connor's experience in Heartstopper, where he portrayed complex emotional situations and coming-of-age themes, prepared him well for the challenges of Bright Bill's character arc. His ability to convey vulnerability while maintaining strength mirrors many of the themes present in The Wild Robot, making him an ideal choice for this pivotal role. The young actor's approach to voice acting demonstrates impressive technical awareness. His work captures the physical aspects of being a young bird while never losing sight of the character's emotional journey. This balance between the fantastical elements of the character and the genuine emotions requires sophisticated understanding of both animation and performance. Connor's casting also represents the industry's recognition of young talent and the importance of authentic representation across age groups in animation. His performance in The Wild Robot serves as a launching pad for what promises to be a significant career in both live-action and animated entertainment. Bill Nighy as Longneck, Veteran gravitas distinguished British actor Bill Nighy lends his unmistakable voice to Longneck, a wise goose who serves as both mentor and leader within the island's avian community. Nighy's casting represents the film's commitment to bringing seasoned theatrical and film talent to the animation medium. Nighy, whose career spans decades and includes memorable performances in films like Love Actually, Pirates of the Caribbean, and The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, brings natural authority and wisdom to the role of Longneck. His distinctive voice, refined through years of stage and screen work, creates an immediately recognizable and trustworthy character who serves as an important guide for both Brightbill and the audience. The character of Longneck requires an actor capable of conveying leadership, wisdom, and emotional depth without overshadowing the central characters. Nighy's extensive experience in ensemble pieces makes him ideally suited for this supporting role that must make a significant impact on limited screen time. His performance provides gravitas to the bird community's scenes while maintaining the film's overall tone of wonder and discovery. Nighy's approach to the role demonstrates his understanding of animation's unique requirements. His delivery style adapts perfectly to the medium, using vocal modulation and timing to create a character that feels both realistic within the film's context and distinctly avian. This balance between human relatability and animal authenticity represents one of voice acting's greatest challenges. The casting of Nighy also reflects the film's international appeal and the global nature of DreamWorks storytelling. His British accent and theatrical training bring a classical quality to the role that elevates the material while remaining accessible to international audiences. This balance between sophistication and accessibility runs throughout the film's casting choices. Nighy's collaboration with the film's younger cast members, particularly Kit Connor, creates a mentor-student dynamic that enhances the story's themes about guidance, growth, and community. His performance as Longneck provides a stabilizing influence that allows other characters to take risks and grow, both narratively and in terms of vocal performance. Catherine O'Hara as Pinktail, comedy legend, joins the cast. Comedy icon Catherine O'Hara brings her legendary talents to the role of Pinktail, an opossum who adds both humor and heart to the island's diverse animal community. O'Hara's extensive career in comedy, from SCTV to Schitt's Creek to Tim Burton films, makes her a natural fit for animation's demands for both precise timing and emotional authenticity. O'Hara's casting represents a connection to animation's comedic traditions while bringing fresh energy to the medium. Her experience in improvisational comedy and character work provides her with the tools necessary to create a memorable character in limited screen time. Pinktail's role in the story requires an actress who can deliver laughs while contributing to the film's emotional resonance, a balance O'Hara achieves effortlessly. The actress's previous voice work, including roles in Frankenweenie and The Nightmare Before Christmas, demonstrates her understanding of animation's unique requirements. Her ability to create distinct character voices while maintaining her natural charm makes her an ideal fit for the ensemble nature of the Wild Robots animal community. O'Hara's performance as Pinktail showcases her range beyond her well-known comedic roles. While humor remains an important aspect of her character, she also contributes to the film's themes about community, acceptance, and survival. This dramatic depth adds layers to what could have been a purely comedic role, enhancing the overall richness of the film's world. The casting of O'Hara also reflects the filmmaker's appreciation for comedic legends and their understanding of how veteran performers can elevate animated material. Her presence in the cast signals to audiences that the film takes its comedic elements seriously while maintaining high standards for performance quality. O'Hara's recent resurgence in popularity following Schitt's Creek brings contemporary relevance to her casting while honoring her decades of contribution to comedy. Her involvement in The Wild Robot represents both a career highlight and an introduction to new audiences who may discover her extensive body of work through this animated performance. Mark Hamill as Thorn. From Jedi to Grizzly, Mark Hamill's casting as Thorn, a formidable grizzly bear, represents one of the film's most exciting voice acting appointments. Hamill, beloved for his iconic role as Luke Skywalker and legendary for his voice work as the Joker in various Batman animated projects, brings both gravitas and playful menace to this important supporting character. Hamill's extensive experience in voice acting makes him uniquely qualified to tackle the challenges of bringing a grizzly bear to life through vocal performance alone. His work as the Joker demonstrated his ability to create complex, multifaceted characters through voice, skills that translate perfectly to the role of Thorn. The character requires an actor capable of being both threatening and sympathetic, a balance Hamill navigates with characteristic skill. The casting choice also reflects the film's appeal to multi-generational audiences. Hamill's involvement brings his substantial fan base while honoring his contributions to both live-action and animated entertainment. His presence in the cast signals the project's ambition and commitment to quality, attracting attention from both animation enthusiasts and general audiences. Thorn's role in the story requires careful balance between danger and eventual understanding. Hamill's performance must initially establish the character as a potential threat while gradually revealing the complexity beneath the surface. This character development mirrors the film's broader themes about appearances, assumptions, and the possibility of unexpected connections. Hamill's approach to the role demonstrates his evolution as a voice actor since his early work in the Star Wars franchise. His Thorn showcases technical mastery of vocal characterization while maintaining the emotional authenticity that has made his voice work legendary. The performance contributes to the film's exploration of survival, territory, and ultimately, coexistence. The collaboration between Hamill and the film's other veteran voice actors creates a strong foundation that supports the performances of younger cast members. His experience and professionalism contribute to the overall quality of the ensemble performance, elevating the material through his commitment and skill. Stephanie Hsu as Vantra. Rising Star Power Academy Award nominee Stephanie Hsu joins the cast as Vantra, another robot character whose presence adds complexity to Roz's understanding of her own identity and purpose. Hsu, fresh from her acclaimed performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once, represents the new generation of performers bringing fresh energy and perspective to animation. Vantra's character serves as both mirror and foil to Roz, requiring an actress capable of distinguishing between two robot characters while exploring themes of identity, purpose, and individual versus collective identity. Hsu's performance must create a distinct character while highlighting the unique qualities that make Roz special within the robot community. Hsu's casting reflects the industry's recognition of exceptional talent regardless of career stage. Her Oscar nomination for Everything Everywhere All at Once demonstrates her ability to handle complex, multi-layered characters, skills that translate perfectly to the challenges of voice acting and animation. Her work in that film showed her range in both comedic and dramatic moments, preparing her for animation's demands. The character of Vantra represents the film's exploration of conformity versus individuality, themes that resonate throughout the story. Hsu's performance must embody the contrast between programmed responses and developed personality, creating a character that serves the story's larger themes while remaining engaging in her own right. Hsu's multicultural background and experience in diverse storytelling contexts bring valuable perspective to the role. Her casting continues the film's commitment to diverse representation while ensuring that each character feels authentic and fully realized rather than tokenistic. The dynamic between Vantra and Roz provides crucial context for understanding the protagonist's journey. Hsu's performance helps define what makes Roz unique by showcasing alternative approaches to robot consciousness and adaptation, adding depth to the film's central character through contrast and comparison. Matt Berry as Paddler, British comedy excellence. Acclaimed British comedian and actor Matt Berry lends his distinctive voice to Paddler, bringing his unique brand of humor and timing to the film's animal ensemble. Berry, known for his work in What We Do in the Shadows, Toast of London, and The IT Crowd, adds a sophisticated comedic element to the film's supporting cast. Berry's casting represents the film's international flavor and commitment to diverse comedic voices. His distinctive delivery style and timing, honed through years of British comedy television, creates an immediately memorable character that adds both humor and personality to the island's community. His approach to voice acting demonstrates how established comedic performers can enhance animated material through careful character work. The role of Paddler requires an actor capable of creating a distinct personality within the film's ensemble structure. Barry's experience in ensemble comedies makes him perfectly suited for this challenge, understanding how to make an impact while serving the larger story. His performance adds texture to the animal community while maintaining the film's overall tone and pacing. Barry's involvement in the project reflects the growing trend of established television comedy actors transitioning to animation, bringing their established comedic sensibilities while adapting to the medium's unique requirements. His work in The Wild Robot showcases his versatility while introducing his talents to new audiences, particularly younger viewers who may not be familiar with his television work. The character work Barry brings to Paddler demonstrates his understanding of how physical comedy can be translated through vocal performance alone. His ability to suggest physical humor and timing through voice acting alone showcases the sophisticated skill set required for successful animation work. Barry's collaboration with the film's other comedic performers, particularly Catherine O'Hara, creates a strong foundation of humor that supports the film's emotional moments. His contribution to the ensemble demonstrates how individual comedic talents can enhance rather than compete with each other in successful animated storytelling. Ving Rhames as Thunderbolt. Power and presence. Veteran actor Ving Rhames brings his commanding presence to the role of Thunderbolt, adding gravitas and power to the film's voice cast. Rhames, known for his memorable performances in films like Pulp Fiction, Mission Impossible, and Dawn of the Dead, demonstrates the natural authority that makes him perfect for animation voice work. Rhames' casting reflects the film's commitment to bringing established dramatic talent to animation, recognizing that voice acting requires the same level of skill and commitment as live-action performance. His distinctive voice and natural command create an immediately impactful character that adds weight to the film's supporting ensemble. The character of Thunderbolt requires an actor capable of conveying strength and presence through voice alone. Rhames' extensive experience in action and dramatic films provides him with the tools necessary to create a memorable character in limited screen time. His performance adds another layer to the island's diverse community while contributing to the film's themes about different types of strength and leadership. Rhames' approach to voice acting demonstrates his understanding of how to adapt his live-action skills to animation's unique requirements. His work showcases how established dramatic actors can enhance animated material through careful attention to vocal characterization and timing. The casting of Rhames also reflects the film's appeal to adult audiences alongside its family-friendly content. His involvement signals sophisticated storytelling that respects viewers of all ages, bringing depth and authenticity to material that could easily become simplistic in less capable hands. Rhames' contribution to the ensemble demonstrates how veteran actors can support and elevate the work of their co-stars, particularly younger performers who benefit from working alongside established talent. His professionalism and commitment contribute to the overall quality of the film's vocal performances. Boone Storm as Baby Bright Bill. Capturing innocence. Young actor Boone Storm takes on the challenging role of Baby Bright Bill, the infant version of Kit Connor's character. This casting decision reflects the filmmaker's attention to detail and commitment to authentic character development throughout the story's timeline. Storm's performance as Baby Bright Bill requires capturing the innocence and vulnerability that make Roz's protective instincts believable and touching. The role demands technical skill in creating convincing infant vocalizations while contributing to the emotional development of the story. This balance between realistic baby sounds and narrative purpose requires sophisticated understanding of both performance and storytelling. The decision to cast a separate actor for the baby version of Bright Bill demonstrates the production's commitment to character authenticity throughout the story's timeline. Rather than relying on digital manipulation or adult actors attempting younger voices, the filmmakers chose to work with age-appropriate talent to ensure the character's believability. Storm's work creates the foundation for Connor's later performance, establishing character traits and emotional connections that must remain consistent throughout the character's development. This collaborative approach to character creation showcases the sophisticated teamwork required for successful animated storytelling. The casting choice also reflects the industry's growing recognition of young talent and the unique contributions they bring to animated material. Storm's natural qualities as a young performer enhance the authenticity of the character while demonstrating the value of working with age-appropriate actors whenever possible. Storm's performance, while limited by the character's age and development, contributes significantly to the film's emotional impact. His work creates the initial bond between Roz and Brightbell that drives the entire narrative, making his contribution essential to the story's success. Chris Sanders, director, as creative vision. While not technically part of the voice cast, director and writer Chris Sanders deserves recognition for his role in assembling and directing this exceptional ensemble. Sanders, whose previous work includes How to Train Your Dragon and Lilo Stitch, brings extensive experience in working with voice actors and understanding animation's unique requirements. Sanders' approach to casting demonstrates his understanding of how voice acting differs from live-action performance while recognizing the skills that translate between mediums. His ability to identify actors who can bring both technical skill and emotional authenticity to animation has resulted in one of the medium's most successful ensemble casts. The director's work with his cast extends beyond simple direction to collaboration in character development and story enhancement. His experience as both writer and director allows him to work closely with actors to refine characterizations and ensure that each performance serves the larger narrative goals. Sanders' casting choices reflect his commitment to diversity and representation while prioritizing performance quality above all other considerations. His ability to balance these concerns while maintaining artistic integrity demonstrates the sophisticated approach required for successful contemporary animation. The director's previous experience working with ensemble casts in animated films provides him with unique insights into how individual performances can enhance each other. His work in The Wild Robot showcases his evolution as a filmmaker while building on the skills that made his previous collaborations so successful. Sanders' approach to voice direction emphasizes emotional authenticity over technical perfection, encouraging his actors to find genuine connections to their characters rather than simply executing predetermined line readings. This philosophy creates performances that feel spontaneous and authentic within the structured environment of animation production. The supporting ensemble, building a world through voices beyond the principal cast. The Wild Robot features an extensive supporting ensemble that brings the island's diverse ecosystem to life through skilled voice work. Each supporting actor, regardless of screen time, contributes to the film's rich tapestry of characters and helps create the believable world that makes the story possible. The supporting cast includes numerous talented actors who bring individual animals and robots to life, each requiring distinct characterization and vocal approaches. These performances, while individually brief, collectively create the immersive environment that allows the main story to flourish. The attention paid to these smaller roles reflects the production's commitment to quality throughout every aspect of the film. The casting process for supporting roles in animation requires careful consideration of how individual voices will blend together to create convincing communities and ecosystems. The choices made for The Wild Robot demonstrate sophisticated understanding of how ensemble voice work can enhance rather than compete with principal performances. Many of the supporting cast members bring their own established fan bases and performance histories, adding layers of recognition and authenticity to the film's world. This approach of casting recognizable talent in smaller roles enriches the overall experience while respecting the hierarchy of the main story. The collaboration between principal and supporting cast members creates the realistic community dynamics that make the film's themes about belonging and adaptation believable. These relationships, established entirely through voice acting, demonstrate the power of skilled ensemble performance in animation. The supporting ensemble's work also showcases the range of talent working in contemporary animation, from established character actors to emerging voice specialists. This mixture of experience levels creates dynamic ensemble scenes while providing opportunities for less established performers to work alongside industry veterans. Technical aspects of voice acting in The Wild Robot. The technical challenges faced by the cast of The Wild Robot extend beyond simple line delivery to encompass the complex requirements of modern animation voice work. Each actor must consider how their performance will integrate with the film's visual elements, sound design, and overall artistic vision. Modern animation recording often involves actors working individually in isolated recording sessions, requiring them to create believable character relationships without the benefit of scene partners. The cast of The Wild Robot demonstrates exceptional skill in creating authentic chemistry and emotional connections despite these technical limitations. The film's animal characters present unique challenges in balancing human relatability with species-appropriate characteristics. Each actor must find ways to suggest their character's animal nature without sacrificing the emotional authenticity required for the story's success. This balance requires sophisticated understanding of both animal behavior and human emotion. The integration of robotic characters adds another layer of technical complexity, requiring actors to suggest mechanical origins while developing recognizably human emotional growth. The performances must convince audiences of the character's technological nature while maintaining the relatability necessary for emotional investment. The film's environmental settings, from storms to seasonal changes, require voice performances that adapt to changing acoustic conditions and emotional circumstances. The cast demonstrates impressive technical skill in maintaining character consistency while adapting their performances to serve the story's varying dramatic requirements. The recording process for The Wild Robot likely involved multiple sessions as the animation developed, requiring actors to maintain character consistency while adapting their performances to match evolving visual elements. This collaborative process between voice and animation teams creates the seamless integration that characterizes successful animated films. Cultural impact and reception. The casting choices for The Wild Robot reflect broader trends in animation toward diverse representation and the elevation of voice acting as a respected dramatic discipline. The film's success demonstrates audience appreciation for sophisticated voice work and complex storytelling in animation. The involvement of Academy Award winners and nominees in the cast signals the industry's growing recognition of animation as a legitimate dramatic medium deserving of top-tier talent. This trend benefits both the specific project and the animation industry as a whole by attracting attention and respect from critics and audiences. The film's international cast reflects the global nature of contemporary animation production and distribution. The combination of American and British talent creates appeal for international markets while maintaining the universal themes that make the story accessible to diverse audiences. The success of the voice cast in creating memorable characters contributes to the film's potential for franchise development and continued cultural impact. Strong voice work creates characters that audiences want to revisit, supporting the commercial viability of sequels and related content. The film's approach to casting demonstrates how animation can provide opportunities for actors to explore different aspects of their craft while reaching new audiences. Several cast members have noted the unique challenges and rewards of voice acting, potentially inspiring other performers to explore the medium. The critical reception of the film's voice work has been overwhelmingly positive, with many reviewers specifically noting the quality and authenticity of the performances. This recognition helps establish voice acting as a specialized skill worthy of critical attention and industry respect. Looking forward, legacy and future implications. The success of The Wild Robot's casting approach will likely influence future animated productions, demonstrating the value of investing in top-tier voice talent while maintaining commitment to diverse representation. The film's approach balances star power with character authenticity, creating a model for successful animation casting. The careers of the film's younger cast members, particularly Kit Connor and Boone Storm, will likely benefit from their association with this successful production. Their work in The Wild Robot provides them with valuable experience in animation while showcasing their talents to industry professionals and audiences. The film's success may encourage other established dramatic actors to explore voice work, expanding the pool of talent available for future animated productions. The positive experiences reported by the cast could influence their contemporaries to consider animation as a legitimate and rewarding creative outlet. The technical innovations employed in the film's production, combined with the exceptional voice work, set new standards for animation quality and emotional authenticity. Future productions will likely be measured against these achievements, encouraging continued innovation and excellence in both technical and performance aspects. The film's approach to ensemble casting demonstrates how individual talents can be combined to create something greater than the sum of its parts. This collaborative model will likely influence future casting decisions and production approaches across the animation industry. Conclusion: a casting triumph. The Wild Robot represents a triumph of casting vision and execution, bringing together an ensemble of voice actors who individually excel while creating collective magic that serves the story's emotional and thematic goals. From Lupita Nyong'o's transformative central performance to the supporting work of seasoned veterans and emerging talents, every casting choice contributes to the film's overall success. The film's approach to voice casting demonstrates how animation can attract and showcase top-tier talent while providing opportunities for diverse voices and emerging performers. This balance between established star power and fresh perspective creates an ensemble that feels both authoritative and innovative. The technical skill displayed by the entire cast in navigating animation's unique requirements while maintaining emotional authenticity showcases the sophisticated artistry required for successful voice acting. The collective work creates characters that feel fully realized despite existing only in vocal performance and animation. The success of the Wild Robot's casting will undoubtedly influence future animated productions, setting new standards for both individual performance quality and ensemble collaboration. The film demonstrates how thoughtful casting can enhance every aspect of animated storytelling, from character development to thematic exploration. The cultural impact of these casting choices extends beyond the immediate success of the film to influence broader industry trends toward diversity, quality, and respect for voice acting as a dramatic discipline. The film's achievement represents a significant moment in animation history, showcasing the medium's continued evolution and artistic potential. The legacy of the Wild Robot's exceptional voice cast will likely endure through continued viewings, critical analysis, and influence on future productions. The film stands as a testament to the power of skilled voice acting in creating emotionally resonant animated storytelling that appeals to audiences of all ages while maintaining artistic integrity and technical excellence. Through the combined efforts of its stellar cast, The Wild Robot achieves the rare balance of commercial appeal and artistic achievement that defines truly exceptional animated cinema. The film's success serves as both celebration of its individual contributors and inspiration for the continued evolution of animation as a sophisticated storytelling medium deserving of the industry's finest talents. The Wild Robot, 2024, a masterpiece of animation and storytelling introduction in the landscape of contemporary animated cinema. Few films have captured both critical acclaim and commercial success as effectively as The Wild Robot, 2024. This DreamWorks animation production, directed by Chris Sanders and featuring an all-star voice cast led by Lupita Nyong'o, represents a remarkable achievement in both technical innovation and emotional storytelling. Based on Peter Brown's beloved children's novel, the film tells the extraordinary story of Razam Unit 7134A Raz Forsharda, a robot who becomes stranded on an uninhabited island and must learn to survive by bonding with the local wildlife and caring for an orphaned gosling named Brightbill. The film's journey from page to screen involved meticulous attention to detail, groundbreaking animation techniques, and a profound commitment to environmental themes that resonate deeply with contemporary audiences. Through its exploration of themes including artificial intelligence, nature, parenthood, and belonging, The Wild Robot has established itself as not merely entertainment but as a meaningful cinematic experience that speaks to audiences across all age groups. Production development and pre-production. The development of The Wild Robot began with DreamWorks Animation's acquisition of the film rights to Peter Brown's 2016 novel of the same name. The book, which had garnered significant critical acclaim and commercial success, immediately stood out to studio executives as material with extraordinary cinematic potential. The story's unique blend of science fiction elements with deeply human themes of love, survival, and acceptance made it an ideal candidate for animated adaptation. Chris Sanders, known for his previous work on beloved animated films including How to Train Your Dragon and Lilo & Stitch, was brought on board to both write and direct the adaptation. Sanders' reputation for creating emotionally resonant animated features that appeal to both children and adults made him the perfect choice for this project. His approach to storytelling, which emphasizes character development and emotional authenticity, aligned perfectly with the novel's core themes. The pre-production phase was extensive and methodical. Sanders spent considerable time analyzing the source material, identifying the key elements that made Brown's story so compelling while also recognizing the opportunities that animation provided to expand and enhance certain aspects of the narrative. One of the primary challenges was translating the internal monologue and philosophical elements of the novel into a visual medium that would be engaging and accessible to audiences. A crucial aspect of the development process was the environmental consultation that DreamWorks sought from experts. DreamWorks Animation developed the film in collaboration with both Universal's Greener Light program and the Natural Resources Defense Council's Rewrite the Future initiative, with environmental experts consulting on the ecological elements. This collaboration ensured that the film's portrayal of nature and wildlife would be both scientifically accurate and environmentally conscious, adding authenticity to the story's ecological themes. The design phase was particularly complex, as the animation team needed to create a visual language that could effectively blend the mechanical, technological aspects of Raz with the organic, natural world of the island. The challenge was to make these contrasting elements feel cohesive within the same visual universe. Artists spent months developing the look and feel of both Raz and the various animal characters, ensuring that each design choice supported the overall narrative themes. Character development extended beyond visual design to include extensive research into animal behavior and robotic functionality. The animation team studied real animal movements, social structures, and behavioral patterns to ensure that the wildlife characters would feel authentic and believable. Similarly, considerable attention was paid to how Roz would move and interact with her environment, balancing her robotic nature with her evolving emotional intelligence. The screenplay adaptation process involved careful consideration of which elements from the novel to emphasize, modify, or expand. Sanders and his writing team worked to ensure that the film would honor the spirit of Brown's original work while also taking advantage of the unique storytelling possibilities that animation provides. This included developing certain relationships and conflicts that were more implied in the book, as well as creating visual sequences that could convey emotional depth without relying heavily on dialogue. Filming. Animation production. While The Wild Robot is an animated film and therefore doesn't involve traditional filming, the animation production process was extensive and technically sophisticated. DreamWorks Animation employed cutting-edge technology and innovative techniques to create the film's distinctive visual style, which needed to convincingly portray both the mechanical precision of Raz and the organic beauty of the natural environment. The animation production timeline spanned several years, with different departments working simultaneously on various aspects of the film. The process began with storyboarding, where Sanders and his team mapped out every scene in detail. This phase was crucial for establishing the film's pacing, visual rhythm, and emotional beats. Each storyboard sequence underwent multiple revisions to ensure that the visual storytelling was as effective as possible. Character animation presented unique challenges, particularly in bringing Raz to life. The animators needed to convey her mechanical nature while also showing her gradual development of emotional intelligence and maternal instincts. This required a sophisticated understanding of both robotic movement patterns and subtle character development techniques. The animation team developed specific movement vocabularies for Roz that would evolve throughout the film, becoming more fluid and natural as she adapts to her environment and develops relationships with the animals. The animal characters required extensive research and reference material. Animation teams studied real animals extensively, observing their movement patterns, social behaviors, and emotional expressions. This research was crucial for creating animal characters that would feel authentic while still being capable of the emotional range necessary for the story. Each species represented in the film required specific animation approaches, from the flight patterns of various birds to the swimming techniques of marine animals. Environmental animation was another major component of the production process. The island setting needed to feel like a living, breathing ecosystem. This required sophisticated rendering techniques to create realistic vegetation, weather patterns, and natural phenomena. The animation team paid particular attention to how light interacted with different surfaces and materials, from Roz's metallic exterior to the various textures found in nature. The film's distinctive visual style emerged from a careful balance between realism and stylization. While the environments and animal behaviors needed to feel authentic, the overall aesthetic was designed to support the story's emotional themes. This involved developing a color palette and visual approach that could effectively convey the film's emotional journey, from Roz's initial disorientation to her eventual integration into the island community. Technical innovation played a significant role in the animation production. The Wild Robot is one of 2024's most beloved films by audiences and critics alike, with the New York Times describing it as a dazzling triumph of animation. The film utilized advanced rendering techniques and innovative animation software to achieve its distinctive look. The production team employed various technical solutions to overcome the challenges of creating believable interactions between mechanical and organic elements. The voice recording process occurred throughout the animation production, with actors often recording multiple sessions as the animation evolved. This iterative approach allowed for fine-tuning of both performance and animation to ensure perfect synchronization between voice and visual performance. Lupita Nyong'o's performance as Roz was particularly crucial, as she needed to convey the character's transformation from mechanical efficiency to emotional warmth. Post-production. The post-production phase of The Wild Robot was comprehensive and technically sophisticated, involving multiple specialized departments working to refine and enhance every aspect of the film. This phase was crucial for bringing together all the various elements created during production into a cohesive, polished final product. Color correction and grading played a vital role in establishing the film's distinctive visual atmosphere. The post-production team worked extensively to ensure that the color palettes supported the emotional journey of the story, with subtle shifts in tone and saturation that corresponded to different narrative beats. The challenge was to maintain consistency across hundreds of shots while also allowing for the emotional variation that the story required. Visual effects work was extensive, particularly in creating the seamless integration between Roz and her natural environment. The VFX team needed to ensure that lighting, shadows, and reflections appeared natural and consistent across all interactions between the mechanical and organic elements of the film. This required sophisticated rendering techniques and careful attention to detail in every frame. The sound design process was particularly important for The Wild Robot, as the film needed to create rich auditory landscape that would enhance the immersive quality of the island environment. Sound designers recorded extensive natural audio, including various bird calls, wind patterns, water movements, and other environmental sounds. These elements were carefully layered and mixed to create a believable natural soundscape. Foley work was crucial for bringing Roz to life through sound. The audio team developed a unique sound vocabulary for the robot character, creating mechanical sounds that would feel authentic while also evolving throughout the film to reflect her emotional development. This involved creating different types of mechanical sounds for various situations and emotional states. The mixing and mastering process required careful balance between dialogue, music, and environmental sounds. The goal was to create an immersive audio experience that would support the film's emotional themes while also ensuring clarity and accessibility for audiences of all ages. Multiple mix versions were created for different exhibition formats, including standard theatrical presentation, IMAX, and various home viewing platforms. Quality control and final delivery involved extensive review processes to ensure that the film met the high technical standards expected of a major studio release. This included color calibration for different exhibition formats, audio optimization for various sound systems, and format conversion for different distribution platforms. Music. The musical score for The Wild Robot represents a crucial element in the film's emotional impact and overall artistic success. The music needed to serve multiple narrative functions, establishing the technological aspects of Raz's character, capturing the natural beauty of the island environment, and supporting the emotional journey of the story. The composer faced the unique challenge of creating a musical language that could effectively bridge the gap between the mechanical and organic worlds represented in the film. This required developing distinctive musical themes and motifs for different characters and concepts, while also creating an overarching musical approach that would unify these diverse elements. Raz's musical theme underwent significant development throughout the film, evolving from mechanical, electronic-influenced sounds to more organic, emotionally warm musical expressions. This musical transformation paralleled her character development, with the score serving as an additional layer of storytelling that enhanced the visual narrative. The natural environment of the island was represented through rich orchestral textures that captured both the beauty and the wildness of the setting. These musical landscapes needed to feel authentic and immersive while also supporting the dramatic requirements of specific scenes. The composer drew inspiration from various musical traditions associated with nature and wilderness, creating a sound that felt both timeless and contemporary. Character themes for the various animal characters were carefully developed to reflect their individual personalities and species characteristics while also supporting their relationships with Raz and each other. This required a sophisticated understanding of how musical characterization could enhance the storytelling without becoming overly literal or simplistic. The emotional climaxes of the film were supported by carefully crafted musical moments that amplified the dramatic impact without overwhelming the visual storytelling. These sequences required precise timing and dynamic control to ensure that the music enhanced rather than competed with the on-screen action. The recording process involved world-class musicians and state-of-the-art recording facilities. The orchestral sessions were meticulously planned and executed, with attention to both technical excellence and emotional authenticity. Multiple recording sessions allowed for refinement and adjustment of the musical performance to perfectly align with the film's pacing and emotional requirements. The integration of the score with the film's sound design required careful coordination between the music and audio departments. The goal was to create a seamless audio landscape where music, dialogue, and environmental sounds work together to support the story. This involved detailed planning and multiple mixing sessions to achieve the optimal balance. Theatrical release. The film was released on September 27, 2024, marking the culmination of years of development and production work. The theatrical release strategy was carefully planned to maximize both critical recognition and commercial success, with DreamWorks Animation and Universal Pictures coordinating a comprehensive marketing and distribution campaign. The release timing was strategically chosen to take advantage of the early fall family film market, positioning The Wild Robot as a premium entertainment option for families as the summer blockbuster season concluded. This timing also allowed the film to build momentum leading into the holiday season and awards consideration period. The film received a wide theatrical release, appearing in thousands of theaters across multiple countries simultaneously. The distribution strategy included both standard digital projection and premium formats including IMAX, providing audiences with various viewing options to experience the film's stunning visual achievement. Marketing efforts began months before the theatrical release, with carefully orchestrated campaign that highlighted both the film's emotional storytelling and its technical achievements. The marketing strategy emphasized the film's appeal to both children and adults, positioning it as a family film that would resonate with audiences across age groups. Critical screenings and festival presentations preceded the wide release, building positive word-of-mouth and critical recognition. These early screenings were instrumental in establishing the film's reputation as a significant artistic achievement, creating anticipation among both critics and general audiences. The film's premiere events and red carpet appearances featured the voice cast and creative team, generating media attention and public interest. These promotional activities were carefully coordinated with the marketing campaign to maximize visibility and audience awareness. International release followed a carefully planned schedule, with the film opening in major international markets shortly after its domestic debut. This global release strategy was designed to capitalize on positive reviews and word of mouth from early markets while also accommodating different regional marketing requirements and cultural considerations. Home media release. The home media release strategy for The Wild Robot was designed to extend the film's reach and provide audiences with additional opportunities to experience the story. The digital and physical media releases were carefully planned to maximize both accessibility and revenue while also providing additional value through bonus content and special features. Digital release preceded physical media availability, providing immediate access for audiences who wanted to own or rent the film through various online platforms. This digital-first approach reflected contemporary viewing habits while also generating early home media revenue. The physical media release included multiple format options, including standard DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K Ultra HD editions. Each format was optimized to provide the best possible viewing experience for its specific technical capabilities, with particular attention paid to color accuracy and audio quality. Special edition releases included extensive bonus content designed to provide insight into the filmmaking process and enhance the viewing experience. These bonus features included behind-the-scenes documentaries, deleted scenes, director commentary, and making of segments that explored various aspects of the production process. The home media marketing campaign emphasized the film's technical achievements and emotional storytelling, positioning it as a must-own title for families and animation enthusiasts. Marketing materials highlighted both the film's critical acclaim and its commercial success, reinforcing its status as a significant cinematic achievement. Distribution partnerships with major retailers ensured wide availability of physical media formats, while digital distribution through multiple platforms provided broad accessibility for streaming and digital purchase options. This multi-platform approach maximized the film's reach while accommodating different consumer preferences. Reception. Box office performance. The Wild Robot achieved remarkable commercial success that exceeded industry expectations and established it as one of 2024's most successful animated films. The film's box office performance demonstrated strong audience appeal and sustained popularity throughout its theatrical run. The Wild Robot is outperforming its box office projection with a $35 million opening during its opening weekend, immediately establishing it as a commercial success. This strong opening performance indicated positive audience reception and effective marketing, setting the stage for continued success throughout its theatrical run. The film's sustained performance was particularly impressive, with Wild Robot has held strong at number 2 for 3 weeks in the box office rankings. This consistency demonstrated the film's broad appeal and positive word of mouth, factors that are crucial for long-term commercial success in the competitive entertainment marketplace. The Wild Robot is about to enter another impressive list as it crosses the $100 million mark at the global box office, representing a significant milestone that confirmed the film's status as a major commercial success. This achievement placed it among the year's most successful films and validated the investment in its production and marketing. The film continued to build momentum throughout its theatrical run, eventually crossed the 3-century mark globally, with $300.5 million through Friday. The Chris Sanders-directed critical darling is now at $134.4 million domestic and $166.1 million from the international box office. This extraordinary performance demonstrated the film's global appeal and established it as one of DreamWorks Animation's most successful releases. The sustained box office performance was particularly noteworthy in a challenging theatrical environment. At the time of writing, the film's overall box office total is $154 million. Domestically, it managed to collect $14 million during this past weekend at the box office, which was its third weekend in theaters. This consistency indicated strong audience satisfaction and repeat viewings, factors that are essential for long-term commercial success. DreamWorks' The Wild Robot passes a major milestone at the global box office that pushes it into profitability after 5 weeks in theaters. This achievement demonstrated not only commercial success but also the film's financial viability, ensuring that it would be regarded as a successful investment by the studio and its partners. The international performance was equally impressive, with the film finding success in diverse global markets. This international appeal demonstrated the universal nature of the story's themes and the effectiveness of the animation in transcending cultural and linguistic boundaries. Critical response: The Wild Robot received widespread critical acclaim that praised both its technical achievements and emotional storytelling. Critics consistently highlighted the film's sophisticated approach to themes of artificial intelligence, environmentalism, and family relationships, while also celebrating its stunning visual presentation. The Wild Robot is one of 2024's most beloved films by audiences and critics alike, with the New York Times describing it as a dazzling triumph of animation. This recognition from prestigious publications established the film's credentials as a significant artistic achievement worthy of serious critical consideration. Critics particularly praised Chris Sanders' direction, noting his ability to balance the film's various thematic elements while maintaining emotional authenticity throughout the narrative. His experience with previous animated classics was evident in the sophisticated storytelling approach that appealed to both children and adults without condescending to either audience. The voice performances received widespread critical praise, with particular attention paid to Lupita Nyong'o's nuanced portrayal of Roz. Critics noted her ability to convey the character's transformation from mechanical efficiency to emotional warmth through vocal performance alone, creating a compelling character arc that anchored the film's emotional journey. The film's visual achievement was consistently highlighted in critical reviews, with many critics praising the innovative animation techniques and the seamless integration of technological and natural elements. The distinctive visual style was noted as both technically impressive and artistically meaningful, supporting the story's themes through visual storytelling. Critical recognition extended to the film's environmental themes, with many reviewers noting the thoughtful and sophisticated approach to ecological issues. Critics praised the way the film addressed environmental concerns without becoming preachy or heavy-handed, instead integrating these themes naturally into the narrative structure. The film's approach to artificial intelligence themes received particular critical attention, with reviewers noting the nuanced exploration of consciousness, emotion, and identity. Critics appreciated the way the film avoided simplistic treatments of topics, instead presenting a sophisticated examination of what it means to be alive and conscious. Critics consistently praised the film's emotional authenticity, noting its ability to generate genuine emotional responses from audiences across different age groups. This emotional resonance was seen as evidence of the filmmaker's success in creating universal themes that transcended the film's science fiction premise. The film's technical achievements in animation and sound design received significant critical recognition, with many reviews highlighting the innovative approaches used to create the film's distinctive aesthetic. Critics noted the seamless integration of various technical elements in service of the story's emotional and thematic requirements. Award recognition followed critical acclaim, with the film receiving multiple nominations and awards from industry organizations. The film has been nominated for 3 Academy Awards, including Best Animated Feature, confirming its status as one of the year's most significant cinematic achievements. The sustained critical praise contributed to the film's commercial success, with positive reviews driving audience interest and supporting long-term theatrical performance. Critics' recognition of the film's artistic merits helped establish it as more than mere entertainment, positioning it as a significant cultural contribution worthy of serious consideration. Critical consensus emerged around the film's success in balancing entertainment value with meaningful thematic content, creating a work that satisfied both popular and critical expectations. This balance was seen as evidence of the filmmaker's sophisticated understanding of their audience and their commitment to creating meaningful cinematic art. International critical reception mirrored domestic praise, with critics from various countries and cultures recognizing the universal appeal of the story's themes and the effectiveness of the animation in communicating across cultural boundaries. This global critical recognition supported the film's international commercial success and established its reputation as a significant international cinematic achievement. Conclusion: The Wild Robot stands as a remarkable achievement in contemporary animation, successfully combining technical innovation with profound emotional storytelling to create a film that resonates with audiences across all demographics. From its careful development and production through its successful theatrical and home media releases, the film represents the best of what animated cinema can achieve when artistic vision aligns with technical excellence and commercial viability. The film's success can be attributed to multiple factors, including Chris Sanders' sophisticated direction, the outstanding voice performances led by Lupita Nyong'o, the innovative animation techniques that brought both mechanical and organic elements to life convincingly, and the thoughtful adaptation of Peter Brown's beloved source material. The collaboration with environmental experts and the integration of meaningful ecological themes demonstrated the filmmaker's commitment to creating content that entertains while also encouraging reflection on important contemporary issues. The commercial success of The Wild Robot, including its impressive global box office performance and sustained popularity, demonstrates that audiences respond positively to animated content that respects their intelligence while providing genuine emotional engagement. The film's ability to appeal to both children and adults without compromising its artistic integrity represents a significant achievement in family entertainment. Critical recognition, including Academy Award nominations, confirms the film's artistic merits and its contribution to the medium of animation. The widespread critical praise for the film's technical achievements, emotional authenticity, and thematic sophistication establishes it as a significant cultural contribution that extends beyond mere entertainment. Looking forward, the announced sequel development indicates confidence in the property's continued commercial and artistic potential. Filmmaker Chris Sanders confirmed this morning at Deadline Contenders that the sequel to The Pick is on the way and currently in development at DreamWorks Animation. This continuation of the story will provide opportunities to further explore the themes and characters established in the original film while potentially expanding the narrative universe in new directions. The Wild Robot ultimately succeeds because it understands that great animation must serve great storytelling. The technical innovations and visual achievements, while impressive in their own right, always serve the larger narrative and thematic purposes of the film. This integration of technical excellence with emotional authenticity creates a viewing experience that satisfies on multiple levels and justifies the significant investment in time, talent, and resources required for its creation. The film's environmental themes and exploration of artificial intelligence are particularly relevant to contemporary discussions about technology's role in the natural world and society. By addressing these complex topics through accessible storytelling and compelling characters, The Wild Robot contributes meaningfully to cultural conversations while providing entertainment value. The success of The Wild Robot also demonstrates the continued viability and importance of theatrical animation in an entertainment landscape increasingly dominated by streaming and digital content. The film's theatrical success proves that audiences still value the communal experience of cinema, particularly when the content justifies the special nature of theatrical presentation. As the animation industry continues to evolve and face new challenges and opportunities, The Wild Robot serves as a model for how technical innovation, artistic vision, and commercial sensibility can combine to create content that satisfies diverse stakeholder requirements while making meaningful cultural contributions. The film's success across multiple metrics, critical, commercial, and artistic, establishes it as a significant achievement in contemporary animation and a valuable addition to the canon of family entertainment. The lasting impact of The Wild Robot will likely extend beyond its immediate commercial and critical success. Its thoughtful approach to themes of artificial intelligence, environmentalism, and family relationships provides a framework for future animated content addressing similar topics. The film's demonstration that audiences respond positively to sophisticated, emotionally authentic animated content may influence industry approaches to family entertainment, encouraging more ambitious and meaningful projects. In the context of 2024's cinema landscape, The Wild Robot stands out as a reminder of animation's unique power to create immersive worlds and compelling characters that can address serious themes while providing genuine entertainment value. Its success validates the continued importance of animated cinema as a medium capable of artistic significance and cultural impact, ensuring that animation remains a vital and evolving art form in contemporary entertainment. Review. One ever wonder what it would be like to be a robot stranded on a deserted island? That's the quirky premise of DreamWorks Animation's upcoming film, The Wild Robot. The movie is based on the beloved children's book by Peter Brown. Get ready for an epic adventure following the journey of Roz, a robot who finds herself washed ashore on a remote island. Lost and alone, Roz must adapt to her new surroundings and learn to survive in the wild. But fear not, this isn't your typical robot story. Roz isn't just about circuits and wires as she navigates the island's challenges. She starts to build relationships with the local animals. She begins forming an unlikely bond with an orphaned gosling she takes under her wing. The Wild Robot boasts a star-studded voice cast, including Academy Award winner Lupita Nyong'o as Roz, Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian, as the cunning fox, Fink, and Catherine O'Hara, Schitt's Creek, as the wise old opossum, Pinktail. But the story's heart lies in Roz's journey of self-discovery. As she interacts with the island, she begins to question her purpose and explore what it truly means to be alive. The Wild Robot is more than just a kid's movie. It's a powerful and heartwarming tale that explores themes of friendship, adaptation, and the connection between nature and technology. So, whether you're a young adventurer or a nostalgic adult, get ready to be swept away by the stunning animation, captivating story, and heartwarming message of The Wild Robot. About The Wild Robot movie from DreamWorks Animation comes a new adaptation of a literary sensation. Peter Brown's beloved, award-winning, #1 New York Times bestseller, The Wild Robot. The epic adventure follows the journey of a robot Roz. A minute 7134. Roz for short. Roz is shipwrecked on an uninhabited island and must learn to adapt to the harsh surroundings. The robot gradually builds relationships with the animals on the island and becoming the adoptive parent of an orphaned gosling. About The Wild Robot books. The series follows the heartwarming journey of Roz, a resourceful robot shipwrecked on a remote island. In this first book, The Wild Robot, Roz must adapt to the harsh environment and learn to survive using her ingenuity. She builds a shelter, gathers resources, and even creates tools from scavenged materials. Through interactions with the island's diverse animal population, Roz forms unexpected friendships and even becomes a surrogate parent to an orphaned gosling. The subsequent books explore the theme of community and belonging. In The Wild Robot Escapes, Roz leaves the island to return to civilization, facing new challenges and the complexities of human society. She grapples with her robot identity and struggles to find her place in a world that doesn't fully understand her. Finally, The Wild Robot Protects sees Roz returning to the island to defend her home and newfound family from a new threat. This book showcases the power of friendship and the importance of protecting the natural world. Review. 2 Animated movies, by and large, haven't been great to moms. In classic Disney films, mothers are usually dead by the time the story starts. The Little Mermaid, or killed as a major plot point, Bambi, or forcibly, devastatingly separated from their children, Dumbo, Sleeping Beauty, etc. And let's not even get started on the stepmoms. I learned way back on Aladdin why there aren't moms in these films, says Chris Sanders, the animation veteran who has directed such features as Lilo Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon. When I first started working on Aladdin, there was a mom in the story, and almost immediately, she was causing problems. Your protagonist has to be able to make mistakes, and moms are there to keep you from making mistakes. She very quickly disappeared from the story, and suddenly the movie began to work. But with The Wild Robot, Sanders and his filmmaking team created an animated feature centered specifically on motherhood, one that has left adult audience members openly crying in reviews on social media. The Wild Robot is based on the Peter Brown children's book of the same name and follows a helper robot named Roz who crash lands on an island populated only by wildlife. Roz develops a bond with a young Gosling, Bright Bill, taking charge of his development and, with some help from the locals, teaching him to fly so he can migrate south for the winter. DreamWorks acquired the story before the book came out in 2016. Then it sat in development until Sanders, who worked with the studio on Dragon and the Croods, stopped by the Glendale headquarters looking for his next project. "I love the built-in emotional cliff," says Sanders of Bright Bill's migration. "I like that aspect of it. That Roz would be so focused on raising this Gosling that she wouldn't really see this emotional cliff that she was heading toward." Brown's story gently broaches otherwise difficult subjects for kids, including themes surrounding growing up, climate change, technology and, yes, death. "I do a lot of school visits and library visits and book festivals, and I get such a great reaction from kids when I just treat them like they're my friends," says the author. Like Brown, the Wild Robot film team was adamant that their film would not talk down to the kids. Luckily, DreamWorks is not a stranger to incorporating difficult subject matter in children's entertainment. The animation studio earned praise for 2023's Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which tackled the complex subject of anxiety, with the scene involving the titular feline experiencing a realistic panic attack, and with its rugged natural setting, placed somewhere vaguely in the Pacific Northwest. The Wild Robot does not shy from the circle of life sequences in which the island's furry inhabitants are at odds with, and sometimes ingest, one another. "If there isn't real consequence to the world, the whole movie won't work. It has to be a life and death kind of place," says Sanders. "The only thing that surprised me is we actually got away with the decapitated raven's head. Never got a note on that one." The look of the movie needed to match the complexity of its themes. Sanders felt that the computer-generated style that has dominated much of animation for the past 2 decades, think, rounded edges and exaggerated features, would lean too young. Animated features like Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem and Puss in Boots broke away from those aesthetics, each venturing into new territory in their own ways. The Wild Robot filmmakers found their look when going over early concept art that had the island's natural environment and its animals, foxes, bears, beavers, opossums and others drawn in a painterly way. The images were abstract, with brush strokes plainly visible. Production designer Raymond Zabot thought, "We'll never be able to go that loose." And Chris was like, "Well, why can't it be?" The team looked to illustrator Tara Swong's work on Bambi, artwork made by watercolors and pastels, and the whimsical forests of Hayao Miyazaki's My Neighbor Totoro for inspiration. The sweeping vista, mountains, meadows and oceans in The Wild Robot looked like they could share a museum wall with Edgar Allan Poe. For his part, Zabot drew inspiration for the film setting from his own childhood hiking the trails of Los Angeles Griffith Park and watching the Planet of the Apes TV show film in Bronson Canyon. But the tech used for modern animation is not particularly conducive to the inherent disorder of nature. "CG wants to be so perfect. It does photorealism so well," explains Zabot. "We're fighting this technology constantly, trying to make it more artistic." "So how do you build an impressionistic version of the wilderness using systems developed to mirror the natural world in exactitude?" "You would never make a realistic bush with all of this crazy hierarchy of branches and thousands of leaves, and then filter it to make it look painterly. It would look like an Instagram filter. It doesn't look like somebody painted it," says VFX supervisor Jeff Budsberg. Instead, the VFX team came up with tools so that modelers could build painterly natural environments in 3D, along with the animals' fur coats. He says, "They're using strokes and splatters like an illustrator." At the beginning of the film, Roz's hard lines and chrome stand out against the natural landscape, but her silhouette changes as the movie moves along. She loses a leg that is replaced by a stump, and moss grows on her sleek surface. "One of our dramatic arguments of this movie is kindness as a survival skill," says head of story Heidi Jo Gilbert. "As Roz makes an impact on the island makes an impact on her." To really drive this point home, The filmmakers gave her a more painterly look over time to match her new family of creatures, says Budsberg. We make her looser and looser over the course of the film, and, if we were doing our job right, you didn't pay attention to any of that. With the look of the movie unlocked, the filmmakers went searching for the voice of their robot. Since Roz has no mouth or facial expressions, the vocal performance carries a heavier burden than the average animated character. Lupita Nyong'o, who was immediately taken by Brown's homage to parenting, first looked to the most ubiquitous examples of robotic voices, Siri and Alexa. Their sense of relentless optimism became like the jumping-off point for my interpretation, says Nyong'o. Throughout the film, Roz's voice changes as she gains a greater understanding of the natural world and experiences more emotion. But for much of the first act, Roz's voice exists in a higher register, which proved to be difficult to maintain for Nyong'o, whose voice sits much lower. I got injured because we did it one too many times over a number of days, remembers the Oscar winner. I developed vocal polyps, and I had to be on vocal rest for 3 months, and I was approaching surgery, but the vocal rest healed me. When she was able to get back into the recording booth, Nyong'o and Sanders created a map for the different versions of Roz's voice based on where the character was in her journey. She says it was about calibrating my vocal performance as I went along. By the end of the film, Roz's final voice is Nyong'o's own speaking voice, emerging after Roz experiences the extreme love and loss of parenting. Filmmakers found their wily fox with a heart of gold, think, in Pedro Pascal, but not the Pascal with whom audiences are familiar. The actor is known for roles in The Mandalorian and Game of Thrones where he is using an accent, but the Wild Robot team wanted him to use his normal speaking voice, collecting clips from late-night talk shows to present to the studio. Says producer Jeff Herman, he was so used to putting on a voice in anything he had done, and he expected that's what we hired him for. But it was just the opposite. Other island inhabitants are voiced by Catherine O'Hara, Bill Nighy and Mark Hamill. Casting Bright Bell proved to be the most difficult, with the character so dependent on the vocal performance. The young character could come across like teenage angst and a little angry, says Herman. If we, the audience, don't like Bright Bell, we're not going to believe Roz loves him. During the search, Herman saw Kit Connor on the Netflix series Heartstopper and was particularly taken by the scene where he comes out to his mom, played by Olivia Colman. Says Herman, he has this energy, but also a vulnerability. In the same way that the Wild Robot pulled from animation history to find the unique look of the film, composer Chris Bowers took cues from how those classic animated films were scored. The composers of the old Disney animation would write to picture, meaning that the music would directly and orchestrally respond to the visuals on screen. Explains Bowers, a lot of music for animation back in the day, every 2 seconds is completely different. It has all this movement to it, it's not as predictable. In contrast, many live-action contemporary feature scores are composed as loop-based, meaning there are 4 or 5 musical phrases that repeat, which allows the filmmakers to edit the image up until the last minutes without the composition falling out of sync for the action. Says Bowers, it's like, if you wrote a sentence, and then they asked you to make that sentence 12 words longer. It gets the same message across, but composers are filling space with those modern scores. The Wild Robot is a film about the discovery of new emotion, so Bowers, who had his first child months before joining the production, focused on melody, pulling inspiration from John Williams' scores like Jurassic Park. Bowers also mimicked the film's convergence of technology and nature, tapping the musical quartet Sandbox Percussion, whose members play organic pieces of wood and inorganic materials, metal pipes, oxygen tanks. The composer also added synths to his orchestral score, as well as bowed metal, where a violin bow is rubbed against metal instruments like a cowbell or a vibraphone, for when Roz has a particularly intense feeling. It's almost like her vibration, he says. The Wild Robot, which carries a budget of $78 million, premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival before hitting theaters September 27 with near-universal praise from critics. A delightful story of survival and community, reads The Hollywood Reporter's review. It has earned $324 million. Audiences, especially those unfamiliar with the book, seem caught off guard by the emotional gut punch the film delivers. For a while, my social media was filled up with people posting videos of themselves crying, says Brown, who was often tagged in the videos. It's unusual for people to have that kind of emotional reaction, but then for them to take the extra step of recording it afterward, that was really touching to me. Ultimately, The Wild Robot, tackling perennial subjects like parenting and more contemporary ones like technological sentience, is a movie for the moment that could also only be made in this moment in the whole history of animation, considering the many hundreds of films that exist. To try to come up with a brand new look is ambitious, says Herman. It really required having people who've been in this profession for their lives, for decades, for entire careers, who have been passionate and really loved this art form, to know how to wield it in new ways. Review. 3 In the animated children's film, Love and Sacrifice help a robot discover her soul. This past weekend, The Wild Robot hit theaters to near universal acclaim, and the movie deserves it. I expected a moving picture, but what I didn't expect to encounter were robust metaphysical claims about our fallen condition and the Christ-like power of love. Based on the children's novel by author and illustrator Peter Brown, the beautifully animated film centers on a robot, Roz, a minute 7134, better known as Roz, voiced by Lupita Nyong'o. Roz ends up shipwrecked on a wilderness island, where she finds herself mothering a gosling, Brightbill, Kit Connor, who has imprinted on her. Roz's plight centers on the fact that she is programmed to perform certain tasks to perfection. When she first encounters the animals of the island, she awards them future customer stickers and asks them for a job to complete. The results are catastrophic. Given her unfamiliarity with the natural world, she winds up becoming known as the monster to all the animals on the island. Her lone friend is a fox named Fink, Pedro Pascal, who helps her raise Brightbill. At first, Roz complains about this task of raising an orphaned gosling. "I do not have the programming," she says, of becoming a mother, a sentiment that basically every parent can relate to. Parent or not, all of us can relate to Roz's feeling of being programmed in a way that feels limited. This makes her a walking metaphor for our fallen condition as fallible humans. Just as Roz's programming makes her captive to capitalist notions of productivity, she literally lives to work our programming as humans has, since the fall, being flawed, created good. We seek out that which will most harm us. James 4 puts it this way: "What causes fights and quarrels among you? Don't they come from your desires that battle within you? You desire but do not have, so you kill. You covet but you cannot get what you want, so you quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God." Roz reckons with what it means to find salvation from this fallen state. When, later in this film, she is confronted by another robot about how she found a task when there was no one to assign it, she remarks, "I have been overriding my programming from almost the moment I arrived." As humans, overriding our programming is only possible through a force that is bigger than us. It is Jesus' sacrifice that opens the door for us to have a relationship with God, and it is through that sacrifice that we are able to move beyond our sinful natures and pursue holiness. Roz reckons with what it means to find salvation from a fallen state. In The Wild Robot, sacrifice is a pervading theme. Like any parent, Roz sacrifices aspects of herself in order to raise Brightbill, something made literal in the scene in which she helps him learn how to fly. As Roz runs with Brightbill perched on her shoulder, trying to reach the velocity needed for flight, she repeatedly stumbles and falls, injuring herself so that some of her mechanical fluid spills to the ground. The stunning animation lingers on a patch of green liquid, giving audiences a concrete image of what sacrifice looks like. Indeed, it is Roz's repeated sacrifice on behalf of the animals on the island that not only earns their respect, but also allows them to see a path outside of their most base instincts: kill or be killed. It is through Roz that a new door opens on the island, one that leads to community, where before there was only the desperate struggle for individual survival. Roz's Christ-likeness doesn't end there. She explicitly names love as the force that allows her to make those sacrifices. When she faces a cruel enemy later on in the movie and appears to be shut down, Love allows her memories to miraculously survive. Love makes Roz into something different than she was before. It anchors what could be called her soul to something bigger than her. Even if the movie pauses before naming what this entity is, its metaphysical claims are nevertheless bold. We too have the capacity to counter our fallen programming by accepting the gracious love of God, which leads to a flourishing community. Like Roz, that journey is not easy. We wound one another often, but we also have something within us that yearns for community. There is a part of us that is ever reaching for eternity, even if that desire can become obscured by the daily concerns of work, parenting, or the pursuit of pleasure. For Roz and the animals she befriends, kindness is a survival skill. We might not be robots, but we have programming all the same. The trick is to accept the gift of salvation, which allows us to override it. _ Think Christian. We encourage careful cultural discernment. We recognize and respect that many Christians choose not to engage with pop culture that contains particular content, such as abuse, sex, violence, alcohol or drug use, or that employs the use of coarse language. To that end, we suggest visiting Common Sense Media for detailed information regarding the content of the particular pieces of pop culture discussed in this article. Review. For DreamWorks Animation has released a Wild Vision featurette and new poster for its upcoming animated feature The Wild Robot, written and directed by three-time Academy Award nominee Chris Sanders and starring Academy Award winner Lupita Nyong'o. Adapted from Peter Brown's New York Times bestseller, the 3D CG film hits theaters September 27. The featurette takes you behind the scenes with Sanders, production designer Raymond Zabok, and many other artists, along with stars Lupita Nyong'o, Pedro Pascal, and Catherine O'Hara, to see how storyboards, sketches, concept art, models, layout and animation come together to tell this captivating and emotional story. The film follows the epic adventure of a robot, Roz Minute 7134, a Roz for short, who shipwrecked on an uninhabited island must learn to adapt to the harsh surroundings, gradually building relationships with the animals on the island and becoming the adoptive parent of an orphaned gosling. The Wild Robot stars Nyong'o, Us, the Black Panther franchise, as Robot Roz, Emmy and Golden Globe nominee Pascal, The Last of Us, The Mandalorian, as Fox Fink Emmy winner O'Hara, Schitt's Creek, Best in Show, as a Poss and Pinktail Oscar nominee Bill Nighy, Living, Love Actually, as Goose Longneck Kit Connor, Heartstopper, Rock Eatman, as Gosling Brightbill and Oscar nominee Stephanie Hsu, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fall Guy, as Vontra, a robot that will intersect with Roz's life on the island. The film also features the voice talents of Emmy-winning pop culture icon Mark Hamill, Star Wars franchise, The Boy and the Heron, Matt Berry, What We Do in the Shadows, the SpongeBob movie franchise, and Golden Globe winner and Emmy nominee Ving Rhames, Mission Impossible films, Pulp Fiction. Sanders, who wrote and directed DreamWorks Animation's How to Train Your Dragon, The Croods, and Disney's Lilo Stitch, wrote and directed the film. Jeff Herman, DreamWorks Animation's The Boss Baby 2, Family Business co-producer, Kung Fu Panda franchise, produces. Known as a powerful story about the discovery of self, a thrilling examination of the bridge between technology and nature, and a moving exploration of what it means to be alive and connected to all living things. Brown's The Wild Robot, an illustrated middle-grade novel first published in 2016, became a phenomenon, rocketing to #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. The book has since inspired a trilogy that now includes The Wild Robot Escapes and The Wild Robot Protects. Brown's work on the Wild Robot series and his other best-selling books have earned him a Caldecott Honor, a Horn Book Award, 2 E.B. White Awards, 2 E.B. White Honors, a Children's Choice Award for Illustrator of the Year, 2 Irma Black Honors, a Golden Kite Award and a New York Times Best Illustrated Book Award. Review. 5 Located alongside a pristine alpine lake in the south of France, the Annecy Film Festival is considered the mecca by many in the animation community. It's the kind of place you must visit at least once to meet others who worship animation. This year, DreamWorks Animation legend Chris Sanders, co-director of How to Train Your Dragon and The Croods, as well as Disney favorite Lilo Stitch, is making the trip for the first time. Sanders plans to present an extended sample of his new feature, The Wild Robot, adapted from the book by Peter Brown. It's a project that looks nothing like his previous work, even as it fulfills a dream he's had since his hand-drawn animation days. From the very beginning, I was concerned that people wouldn't see this movie the correct way if you treated it like a normal CG film, Sanders explains. It's a deceptively sweet and simple book, but with incredibly complex things going on emotionally, and we wanted that to be reflected in the visuals. That meant liberating the look from the relatively photorealistic style of previous CG tunes, where everything from feathers to fur has evolved to be convincing to the eye. Sanders' dream was to make the end result reflect the extraordinary exploratory paintings that appear in concept art books. When we begin these projects, there's a wealth of beautiful color sketches that come out. They're loose and they have energy, and they have a lot of emotion to them, he says. So we asked the question, can those images that begin the process be the way this film looks when it's finished? In the footage shown at Annecy, audiences will meet Roz, voiced by Lupita Nyong'o, a high-tech helper droid designed to improve human life that crash lands in a remote forest, where the robot immediately tries to make itself useful. With no human to command it, Roz attaches to the next best thing, a baby duckling named Brightbill, Kit Connor. A few years back, Sony Imageworks' Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse and The Mitchells vs. the Machines innovated a stylized aesthetic of their own, and The Wild Robot builds on innovations within DWA. This was a hard-won thing, engineering-wise. We have several films that we're standing on the shoulders of, with A Puss in Boots, the 2022 sequel, and A Bad Guys, and we took all the things that they accomplished and used that as a springboard to go further. For example, the movie is full of animals, but unlike so many computer-animated films, the creatures here aren't anthropomorphized and look different from the cartoony ones seen in Over the Hedge or Madagascar. Here, Sanders says, the animals are animals. They don't have cell phones or shoes or neckties or cars. Sanders considers the film's softer, more organic look ideal for the forested environment in which it takes place. Really, there's no surface on a character nor in the sky, nor on a tree or anything that isn't painted. It's a very hands-on look. That's much harder than it might sound, given the way the software used across the industry is modeled on replicating real-world physics. DreamWorks had to break and rebuild the tools in order to allow the animators to have such direct control. This film is more like a blank canvas where somebody can just come in and paint. They can paint something in dimension, and we can move around it. So if you look at bushes and trees in this film, some of them have just been painted from scratch. They're not mapped onto a sphere or a cylinder or some other shape, Sanders explains. In a sense, it meant going back to the principles of fine art. What a skilled artist can do with a brush is imply things visually. The effect is really powerful in a great painting. When you get really close up to them, I'm always surprised how little information is really there, Sanders says. The funny thing is, it feels far more real than if we had attempted to get every blade of grass up there. The effect that we're getting from this style is really powerful.